that do not wish to hear about the lighter aspects of this shift in the future, please cover your ears. He's teasing you. So if you're not happy with the USA election results, he's teasing you to cover your ears. One day I had an interaction with Spirit on the other side, and it was Jesus. So for those of you that would like to listen to a non-religious perspective of what it's like to meet Jesus, this is this live for you. So what is it really like meeting Jesus? Okay, so beforehand, I would hear people talking about Jesus and pre-Jesus, and I'm not discounting or disregarding anyone's experience with Jesus. It just wasn't quite fitting with what or where I was in my life at that time. I was like confused because I thought, he's not here on earth, he's dead, but you guys talk about him being alive. So that was the first confusing part of it. I'm like, okay. And the reverence for a person that once experienced time on earth, the reverence of this person on and on and on, it was kind of difficult for me to grasp too. I could see like a family member you grew up with that was standing in front of you, but we're talking about somebody that walked the earth thousands of years ago that literally isn't even in front of you. So it was a little confusing for me. I never resonated with what people preached from the Bible. I've tried to read the Bible. It just didn't resonate with me. But I was brought up with good morals, good values, rights and wrongs. I had, I guess, obviously the vibrational frequency that Jesus felt was right to initiate conversation with me at one point. But everyone on the other side knew that I wasn't about it. It was just something that I tied to religion or the Bible. So when I had that interaction with Jesus, it came as a surprise. When his energy was standing in front of me, I could feel it in my face. I would say he was standing at about 5'7", maybe 5'8", okay? No higher than that. And he said he would like to work with me. And I said, you know, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Those were my first words. He was waiting by my friend's dinner table with Mother Mary. And Mother Mary kept hanging out around the dinner table a few dinners prior. And I knew something was up. Okay, I knew enough to say that much. So when she came back, she brought Jesus on the third visit, and I ignored them. I was like, So I go to take my plate into the kitchen. My friends are in the kitchen, and that's where he stood in my way, essentially, energetically, vibrationally, as a soul, and had a conversation with me. He asked me to please not see him in a religious dogma sort of way, but rather a soul that has a lot of experience that can help me in this lifetime. And he'd also like me to work with me to help others. And at this time, I had been giving readings for about 2 years. So I was about 2 years in, and that's when he approached me. And I know it's because I needed help at that time, removing alcohol out of my life, and just a lot of self-care, and also self-love, and also, helping other people. I think it was earlier than that even. Maybe it was like 6 months in. It was early on. So basically, I said, well, I'll think about it for a month. And he said, okay. Never saw him, didn't hear from him, didn't hear from Mother Mary. No one spoke to me about Jesus for a month. Okay? People, souls, energies left me alone. So as I went through that month, I thought, well, you have Archangel Michael working with you, and that's been the best thing to that point. Archangel Michael was the best thing that I had ever asked to help me and to work with me and to help others. So I thought, okay, and I do need help. And there are some things that are very difficult to overcome. And if we literally cannot do it, and we literally cannot face certain things or get certain things done or remove certain substances or whatever the case may be for you, then you call on Jesus. Okay? He's a pro. He's like that big brother in spirit that you didn't even know you had or even wanted to talk to. Okay? So I said after a month, I said, okay, I'm agreeing to do this. Let's see how this goes. It was very comfortable. It was very, no pushy, no telling me what to do. None of that. The only thing I would ever hear from him is he guided me towards a saying or a prayer to help me detach from alcohol. That worked like that. And the other thing I would hear from him is I go into a pub for a birthday gathering. I mean, I'm not going to drink tonight. I'm not going to drink. And I would hear him in my ear saying, no alcohol, Kristin. Or I would hear him say, no beer, like this, very gently. And then I would disregard all of it. And I wouldn't listen. And I started drinking that night. So he had his work cut out with me. But I think he has had his work cut out with others even more so than me. I think I'm sure I'm somewhat of a challenge, but I don't think I'm as much of a challenge as he is for others. Or I mean, as he has to face with others. Now, there have been times where he's asked me to give readings for people or speak with people that are getting pestered by spirit, and it's time to remove whatever energies there are. And he tries to play the nice guy card at first, and then he gets a bit more direct and firm with them. They know automatically by being in his presence that it's game over. Like you cannot, it's not even a fight. Okay. Like as soon as they see him, as soon as he's there, and this is literally not even a handful of times for me, not even like maybe 3 times. Now, if spirit is still pestering you after you've asked Jesus to come in and remove the energy, then there's something that you have to change or work on in you. Something in your life has to shift, because he can come in and remove that energy, but until something shifts in you, then you are a vibrational match for that energy to return. Okay? So it's really important to remember that. It's the same thing if you had a family member or a friend and you're like really fed up, but nothing changed in you. You still acted like the victim or the empath that's soft and gentle. You didn't voice yourself. You didn't stand up for yourself. So therefore, the narcissistic controllers in your family, for example, keep coming. So nothing's going to change until you change, right? All right. So I'm going to read this for you that I've channeled and written. And then I'm going to, if you have any specific question, I'm coming for you, and I'm going to channel Jesus afterwards. All right. First of all, I didn't want to talk to Jesus. Okay. It was a far stretch for me due to my upbringing. My upbringing was just out in the woods, enjoying myself, being happy. That was it. And my intuition steering me more towards the angels versus Jesus. So secondly, he approached me. I did not want to talk with him. His approach and then he got my attention, right? And then I gave thought in how I would entertain his request to help me and assist me. Took about a month in my life at that time. I had heard many speak of Jesus over the years and thought it was some religious fluff that stemmed from the Bible and religion. And I was not about it. Okay. I always followed my intuition and my gut feeling and what felt right. And if I had separated his energy from religion, it would have been easier for me to, oh, hey, Jesus, just like, hey, Mary Magdalene, or hey, Archangel Gabriel. I probably would have been a lot more, but it was so intertwined. There are many ways to reach those you love on the other side. And they also try to reach you through different ways, such as butterflies, birds, music, songs, intuition, thinking about them, looking at a portrait of them, or holding an article of their belongings. If all of a sudden you get a strong pull in these directions to look at something or notice something, or you're strongly feeling the need to think about them, that's because they're in the room or they're outside with you and they're having you think about them. It's purposeful. They're purposely doing it. The same goes with Jesus. It's just that he has more experience and he knows what he is doing. He helps our loved ones and he wants to help us too. Not necessarily from the viewpoint of or through religion, but as one soul to another. And what I have come to discern from my experiences with Jesus, he is that your life becomes much easier with his assistance, his help, his perspective, the way he views things or what he can see from his vantage point. Because you see, ascended masters or souls that have crossed over, that are the pros, just like your team of guardian angels, just like your team of angels, just like your spirit guides, they can see from all vantage points. They can see the different paths that are ahead for you in the future. They can see what may potentially happen or not. Now, we have free will. We can be pulled in a certain direction, but then ignore it and choose to go in another direction. Okay? And our free will can alter paths ahead. So some of the ways in which we can ask Jesus to help us are infusing his energy around and through you, okay, and your body. So when that happens, he just takes a portion of his light or his energy. He's omnipresent, so he can be with every single one of us all at the same time, but it's our free will request to do this. When we do this, you'll find low vibrational people, experiences, souls, energies. They won't want to have anything to do with you, okay? They're like, I just don't feel comfortable. Have you ever noticed when you're high vibrational and vibrant, low vibrational people don't want to have anything to do with you. They don't want to be around you. They're like, ugh, ugh. Okay, so now we're amplifying that light, except it will be Jesus' light around you and through you, and it will stay there. Okay? So all you have to do is say, yes, please. Ask him to help you with a list with nothing spared on a piece of paper so that he can read it and get to work on each of them. Okay? So he's making this list of ways in which you can ask him to help you. So nothing spared. That's his wording. So there's nothing that you can't put on that list. Nothing. And you will keep that list and you will keep adding to it months down the road. And then whatever you've been helped with, you can kind of cross off the list or not, but you keep it and you keep adding to it. As months go by, you'll want to add different things to it. Or if you want to create an umbrella approach, ask him to help you with everything and anything. Okay, so instead of, you can do these approaches, or you can say, I'm open to you helping me with anything and everything, Jesus. Every aspect of this incarnation, every aspect of this life. I would like you to help me in all areas. Thank you. And then you'll watch as things shift and change. You can't be as depressed. You can't be as moody. You can't think about the low vibrational thoughts like you once did. The takeaway lesson that I would like each of you to note or learn from is that there is far more here than what meets the eye. And there are advanced beings of light and love, such as Jesus, who are able to and capable of helping you in ways in which you may have not thought of yet or have even imagined. And I'm one of those people. I never in a million years would have thought that I was working with Jesus. Nope. Okay. But it's not only that. It's also, there are ways in which that he has helped me, he and the other souls that he works with on the other side, that I never would have imagined. I never would have imagined. Now, just a reminder, there is going to be a Jesus remote healing coming up December 8th. It'll probably be just over an hour, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you can't make it for that time, it's okay. It's going to be left open for 2 days, and I get to everyone's questions. And also, it's something that will be emailed to you so you can download and save it, and you can play it over and over again. Anytime you need that burst of light and healing energy, you can play it over and over, okay? So enjoy this healing led by the soul of Jesus. This very deep healing is to help release all burdens, open your chakra centers, cutting cords, releasing attachments, and releasing heavy energies to be transmuted into the light. We will also be sensing and feeling his energy along with channeling his messages for you. The healing will take place, and then there will be some channeled guidance from him for everyone afterwards as well. Okay? So if that's something that interests you, that's coming up on December 8th. And you can always go to KristinDaviesMedium.com to sign up. I'm just going to channel Jesus right now because I can feel him leaning in. Anytime you've called Jesus in and you're feeling a pressure, okay, warmth or pressure, it's pressing in, the energy's pressing in, could be on the back of your head, could be on the side, could be on the top, then you know he's leaning in to say something to you. You might notice your ears get ear-muffed, okay? So then you just quiet and still your mind, and you let him form the words in your mind and then write them down. He's got a big grin on his face. He's just saying, hi there, everyone. Okay. It is I, the one in which you know as Jesus, although I have walked the earth plane in many different lifetimes, over and over and over, similar or like, okay, just like each of you have. Some of us have had more lifetimes than others here on earth. Some of us may feel like we are floundering here. Please step forward and call upon me when you need me to help you with any aspect of your lives. He also wants us to know that the future days ahead have shifted since the election. Okay. And again, I keep seeing this golden light. I see like the sun, and it's just, the sun is just shining down upon me. For those of you that do not wish to hear about the lighter aspects of this shift in the future, please cover your ears. He's teasing you. So if you're not happy with the USA election results, he's teasing you to cover your ears. Irregardless, he does this, irregardless, much more light is entering the atmosphere here. Much more light will penetrate the darkness, the heaviness, the controllers, the ones in which will do anything to keep control of the planet. It is wise for you to let go, trust, and have faith that everything is moving in the direction that is for the highest and best good of humanity. Better this now than the other side winning and seeing what I mean 4 years from now. Rather, trust and believe in my words when I say this is the best path for humanity, not only in the USA, but for the world right now at this time. He's also talking about sometimes when certain things change and there's a bucking up against the current, a contrast, certain decisions being made where women are not happy with these decisions. He just wants to remind us that these kinds of things take place as an opportunity for us to stand up, to rise up, to voice ourselves, to make certain decisions that we feel are best for us rather than for others. And he says, don't worry about these decisions that have been made on your behalf right now. Just know that we are moving in the best direction for the highest and best good of humanity. It's not over yet, and it won't be over until women are lifted up and brought forward, honored, cherished, respected, treated accordingly. Do not feel that others' values or perspective should influence you on the decisions that you may make or need to make in the future. And I really get that in regards to abortion, for example, okay? There's just some things that one might have to make. Certain decisions one might have to do. Saying like, look what happened in the US. It had France decide to double down and change its rules and its laws, effectively always making abortion legal. So with what comes here may not be as positive or for some people a good path or a decision to have been made, but it triggers others to make laws in place and decisions that secure other areas. The world is a big place with a lot of different countries and a lot of different folks. Please do not allow this to run your show, as Kristin says, or ruin your day, because it's not over yet. And for those of you that believe that it should always be the right of the soul entering through the vessel without abortion being allowed, basically you can enjoy these days for now. That's interesting. I've never heard him say that, but it isn't over yet. He's just talking about, there's a lot of people in power right now, and they're old. He's cracking a joke saying they're old and crusty. So they're not going to be in power forever, okay? They're just not. And there's going to be a lot of changes that are going to take place for the betterment of humanity and the people within the legal system, also within the higher ups. So there's going to be some shuffling that takes place. He's also making mention to me that, you know, if the Roman emperor did not like the group of men that he had to answer to, he just replaced them with men that had the same beliefs or were agreeable on his behalf. So that's what's going to start to take place. Many of these people have been in power far too long. They're of an age where he's showing me a puppet or a marionette, okay? And they need to be shuffled around and removed in order to free up money and rulings for the betterment of the people. So just remember this, it is not over yet. All right, Jennifer, what is the most powerful psychic gift that you need to develop more? Clairaudience, just practicing and perfecting it. And they just remind us that when we have our filter that the energy is coming through here. The more high vibrational, more uplifting we are, the more rested we are, the more calm, more peaceful, more grounded, more quiet your mind is, the easier it's going to be for them to come in. And it's a great, we become a great transmitter of energy within communication when our frequency is higher. Okay. And your female guardian angel is like really I don't know if you feel like this, but it's like I feel she's a little bit like pushing you, like it's time to go. Let's go. I don't know if you feel this urgency or like this pushy, but she's like, time for you to practice. So we practice on Friends. We practice maybe in spiritual groups, meetup.com. You meet them in your local area. You practice with your family members. You practice with yourself. Go, David, you made a poor decision. Well, I mean, that's life. We're not here to be perfect, but let's go. Not too conscious and lost what peace, mental, emotional, bad anxiety and depression. It definitely altered my life path for the worse. Any guidance is appreciated. I don't know what to do to get past this. The first guidance that's coming through from Jesus is for you to let go. So let go. The more you try to grip this, hold on to this, the more you try to hammer down on yourself, self-sabotage, make yourself feel bad about it, we're not moving in the right direction by doing that. He's also reminding me that things can change on the drop of a dime. He's got a big grin on his face and he says, look at what's happening in the US right now. Things have changed in the drop of a dime. And the people are starting to wake up and see things authentically, and just seeing that the mainstream media is not giving us the truth. So authenticity, seeing things from a perspective where you look at them and you say, well, this is it, this is how it is, and then doing your best to let go. That's the first step. Second step, you've already done. You've already called in and you've asked for help, for backup, for energy to come and assist you. And it is. So please trust and have faith that this energy is stepping forward and it is helping you. He's just kind of being nonchalant with you. He's basically saying that nothing's perfect and we don't have to be perfect. Choices and decisions that we make, some of them we deem as being mistakes. But how we view these mistakes, and I get the quotations, okay? They prefer for us to look at them instead of mistakes. They prefer for us to see them as learning experiences here on earth, because they don't care for the guilt that comes along with thinking that we've made a mistake. Okay, I've made a choice here. This is something for me to learn from, to grow from. No one's perfect. The work is being done with you right now. He's also making mention that it's really important for you to be around people that bolster you up. If we spend too much time alone at home and we're not like around people, this is not going to be good for mental health right now. So it is, he's using the words imperative that you get out and that you spend time around other people. So we go and we meet up with other spiritual groups. Even if you don't say a word to anybody, you're going to just sit with them and you're going to be around other people that are going to help lift you up energetically with these energies and also with their own energy and their own words, the people that you spend time with. Joy. What kind of guides are around you? You have 2 spirit guides. They're coming in right on my forehead. They're waving with big smiles. I got purple light as if I'm looking at Archangel Metatron and his energy. I also see Saint Germain. I see the word Melchizedek. So you must have had some strong starseed origins off Earth if you have them with you. Anybody drawn to Metatron, you have had starseed lifetimes off Earth that might be vastly different than Earth. Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, he's always there for good measure should you need him. Okay, but he's obviously stepping forward because he's ready to work with you. And if you ask Archangel Gabriel to do something, you can consider it done. And he will do whatever it takes to make that happen. He's the one that you call to get things done. All right, that's all his mission. He's so headstrong on getting things done for us. That's awesome, Joy. So we're on the same page as far as what you're feeling and what I'm channeling. Mother Mary. Oh, that's for good measure, isn't it? What a well-rounded team. Okay, so Patricia, you will know when Spirit wants to come and channel through you because you might get ear muffed. You might get silence on the side of the head. You might get ear ringing. And the most is when the energy steps forward and puts pressure on your body. So anytime I want, I can feel where my spirit guides are. I can feel where my angels are. Anytime I want. I can feel that Jesus is right behind me because it's feeling very warm and I feel his presence, his energy pressing in on my body. But this has to be quiet to do that. If this is how am I going to feel anything? How am I going to take in the information coming through this energy? So anytime I want, I quiet my mind and I can feel where my angels are in the room. So if it stopped, there might be a reason why it stopped. So let's ask. Is it best for Patricia to channel at this time? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. And they give it to me in 3s because I've asked them to about 20 years ago. I said, could you give it to me in 3s so I know for sure it's not the ego? So now it's just, I hear them, but they'll repeat it in 3s because I've asked them many years ago. Too soon. So it's too early. So when can she start that journey? You will know when it is the right time, when your mind is at peace and quiet, but you'll know when it comes time because they will step forward and you'll get it like that, even if you're not trying. So it might be out of the blue and you're not expecting it. This is what I've come to realize. Only I can pick myself up. And even when I'm in the gutter and I feel like a bag of garbage, okay, we all have had those moments. It is me who picks me up. What is it that I have to do every day to make sure that I get myself back up when I'm ready? Sometimes I'm not ready. Sometimes I'm boozing it up. Like years ago, I was depressed after a breakup and I spent 1.5 years in the doghouse. But it's just self-harm time. That's what it is. So then I have to decide, when is enough? When is a negative self-talk enough? When is the booze enough? When am I going to pick myself back up? And only I can do this. But it sure helps when you're around really high vibrational, awesome people, doesn't it? So that's one of the suggestions by Jesus. They always hear us, Julie, no matter what. It doesn't matter if I didn't feel nothing at first at all. So how did my angels get through to me if I didn't know if they heard me? I didn't know if they heard me. I didn't know for years. But what I would get is number sequences. I would see the same word repeated, either on a license plate or out on this, billboard or whatever. And the other way they would get through to me are rainbows. And then the way you know in which it's them, because you could just look at a rainbow and go, oh yeah, okay. The way you know that the message is for you is you feel pulled to look at it. So the energy pulls you to look at the clock at that time. The energy pulls you to look at the license plate at that time. Isn't it crazy how they can do that? There's no time or space constraints for them. And they just direct you to look at the butterflies, or they'll direct you to look at 100 seagulls flocking off your window one day. And you're like, whoa. So I'll give you an example. I was driving in my car and my partner is having some health issues. And I was saying to him, listen, when I had health issues long ago, I saw a rainbow and I was pulled to look at it. This is long before I could hear or see or feel the angels. And I thought, okay, this is from the angels. And I had this binder and it had this piece of paper inside, which had a rainbow on it. And I was looking at the rainbow. And I caught this overwhelming sensation through my body that everything was going to be all right. So we're driving along. We see this mild rainbow. And I'm telling him of the story of when I had health issues. There I saw the rainbow. I said, this is a sign for you, this rainbow here. And he's like, yeah, maybe, blah, blah, blah. We drive around for about 45 minutes and we come back to the grocery store. And what do we see in the sky? 4 rainbows. One main one, second, third, fourth. I go, well, I don't know how much more of a sign you could possibly get. And he goes, okay, I believe now. So they will find a way to get through to you. It might be through your chakra centers. You might notice, in the center of your chest feels achy and warm as they're opening your heart chakra. Every single one of us will have 2 spirit guides. Every one of us. Most of the time, they are the souls that are from our soul group. So you could look at them as your soul mate. It's just that they decided to stay on the other side and watch over you while you're here on earth. Some people will have one spirit guide and then they'll have Jesus. And for some reason, Jesus has agreed to be the second acting spirit guide. And I don't see that too often. I think I've maybe seen it 2 times, 3 maybe. So with me, I was like, I have Adrian as my spirit guide. Okay, cool. And then I was always chatting with Archangel Michael, but I didn't think he would be acting as my second spirit guide. But I would start noticing everybody that came to me for a reading had 2 spirit guides. I said, oh my God, well, who's my second spirit guide? And then Archangel Michael's in his deeper voice said, that would be me. And I said, why are you acting as my second spirit guide? And he said, because your soul asked me to. So these souls, for some reason, coming to Earth, they ask for these energies to step in and help out more. Maybe they've had some difficult lifetimes and they say, listen, if I'm going back to Earth, you better buck up and be my second spirit guide. And they go, okay. And that's the agreement made. But we all have 2. We all have 2 guardian angels. Once in a while, I'll see somebody who has 3 guardian angels. It's very rare, very rare. I mean, I haven't seen that in 7 years. Okay, so any insight on what direction to look for a new job for Caroline? Okay, let's ask that question. Your guardian angel is soothing you through me. So I see your guardian angel right beside me, very calmly looking down at me, so peaceful. Like there's no concern, no worry, none of that from your guardian angel. And she's just stroking my head. And so I know it's for you. It's soothing you, just creating calm within you that everything's going to be all right. So your guardian angel wants you to take this time to rest and relax and not stress or worry. That's very important for you to learn to do this. Because if you worry and you're stressed and you're thinking about it all the time, it's not healthy for you. You're kind of rowing the boat against the current. Okay, so your guardian angel wants you to put the oars in the boat and just let Source, God, light and love, Jesus, your guardian angel, and everyone who is the stream in the river to just take the boat where it's meant to go. So if you ever feel like going out and watching a movie, going and having a tea somewhere, just getting out of the house and relaxing, that's the key. And anytime you start to worry about it, you're going to remind yourself, my guardian angel has got this. You will be guided. You will be steered in the right direction. And I get this feeling in my gut like I can't go back to doing what I was doing. That's not going to work for me anymore. So then where do I go and what do I do? And that's not important for you to know at this time. Is it important for her to apply for jobs at this time? She's teasing that she doesn't feel that they could stop you from doing that. Like it's so imperative, or you feel it is imperative. Just remember that I get this feeling like help is on the way. So if anybody offers you help, if anyone offers you money, if anyone offers you a place to stay for free, if you get help from anyone, you are to accept it as a gift. She's saying from the divine. See, you see, the angels will work through other people, or they'll work through other situations. Maybe you get a house sit for free for a year, like I once did. So the angels will work through people with ideas, insights, or helping you. So you just thank you. And then, again, she's like, don't worry, and that you're being steered in a new direction. And when it comes time, you'll be much happier and the money will flow. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Remember, you can speak with Jesus anytime you want. He hears your thoughts. He hears the words that you speak and the words that you write down on paper. There's nothing hidden from the spirit world whatsoever. Love you guys. Bye.